Over the past few years, Saudi Arabia's stunning Vision 2030 development plans, which are estimated to cost in excess of $750 billion, have garnered the attention of wealthy entrepreneurs, international corporations, and world governments. But now, with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's recently announced plan to build the largest modern downtown on Earth, he has upped the ante once again, putting the world on notice that Saudi Arabia intends to be a high-stakes player in the emerging new global order. The new Murabba development, which is named after the historic Murabba Palace in the Saudi capital, is to be built in the suburbs of Riyadh as a city within a city. However, plans call for something far beyond a typical modern metropolis. The iconic centerpiece of the Crown Prince's new urban development will be the Mukab, an enormous cube-shaped structure that will tower above the existing Saudi skyline. I'll discuss the possible prophetic implications of this further on in this Geoprophecy report. The recent announcement of the Mukab comes on the heels of a series of major development announcements by the Islamic Kingdom, including NEOM and its growing list of sci-fi-inspired futuristic projects, The Line, Oxagon, Trojena, and Sindala. As I explained in Part 1 of this Flashpoint Geoprophecy report, these projects are integral to Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. A transformative plan initiated by the Crown Prince designed to wean Saudi Arabia from its long-standing dependence on oil revenue and reposition it as a leader in renewable energy. The underlying intent is to remake Saudi Arabia's image and rebrand it as a global business, trade, and tourism mecca by 2030. Now, consider for a moment the immensity and volume of this new Saudi initiative. The Mukab, which means cube in Arabic, will rise to a height of 1,300 feet and will be 1,300 feet in length on all sides. Its interior volume will be so large that it could contain 20 Empire State Buildings. New Murabba and the imposing Mukab cube will include high-end residences, hotels, restaurants, and shopping. Plans call for more than 80 entertainment venues, museums, a major science university, and an international design center. Within the cube, an expansive overhead dome will showcase a continuously changing virtual sky. A spiraling stratospheric tower in the center of the Mukab will provide 360-degree unobstructed views of virtual landscapes that appear on the interior walls of the cube. The surrounding scenery will immerse guests in locations across the globe, the ocean depths, the planet Mars, and fictional destinations. In combination with these features, larger-than-life holographic images will enhance the altered sense of reality. Certainly, New Murabba, and more specifically the Mukab, will be a design marvel. But it's not only these technological features receiving attention. Rather, the familiar cubic form of the Mukab, in tandem with its unprecedented size and scale, is what's raising eyebrows across Saudi Arabia and throughout the Islamic world. Nothing of this magnitude moves forward under the Saudi Kingdom's authoritarian capitalist system without the approval of the Crown Prince. So with the announcement of the Mukab, he is making a clear and, some might say, provocative statement regarding his intentions for the future of the Saudi Kingdom. The center of Islam worldwide is the city of Mecca, and more specifically, the Great Mosque with its black cube known as the Kaaba. Sacred to the adherents of Islam as the House of Allah, the Kaaba is visited by more than 2.5 million devout Muslims each year during Hajj, a prescribed religious pilgrimage required of all Muslims at least once in their lifetime. Millions more visit Mecca during Umrah, a shorter, non-mandated pilgrimage that can occur at any time throughout the year. In 2019, prior to the pandemic, more than 20 million devout religious pilgrims visited the Kaaba to circle its iconic cube in religious observance. The Saudi government intends to dramatically increase that number and has embarked upon a massive $26 billion investment strategy designed to completely remake the religious city with luxury hotels, high-end residences, posh retailers, and restaurants. By 2030, attendance is expected to rise to more than 30 million. With Saudi Arabia wielding such immense power and influence over the Muslim world, why would the Crown Prince risk alienating devout Muslims and jeopardize Saudi Arabia's influential position with the development of the multi-billion-dollar, entertainment-focused Mukab, the largest cube on Earth, in the capital city of his kingdom? Well, consider the following facts. The Kaaba in Mecca and the Mukab, to be built in Riyadh, have similar names which mean cube. The Kaaba is religious, and the Mukab will be secular, at least in its initial description. The Kaaba is believed by Muslims to be the house of Allah and the metaphorical gateway to heaven. The Mukab is being touted as the gateway to another world. Both cubes will draw millions of tourists, and both cubes will have tremendous economic benefits to the kingdom. Mohammed bin Salman's purposes are pragmatic. With the global move from hydrocarbons to renewable sources of energy, the Crown Prince sees a closing window of opportunity to leverage Saudi oil wealth and make the dramatic changes he sees necessary to ensure the survival of his monarchy. But in order to do so, he must lead Saudi Arabia into a new era of change, to a place where old traditions and strict Islamic ideology give way to more moderate ways of thinking and modern methods of living. Ironically, it may be these very changes, along with the decadence of his initiatives and the secularization they bring to Arabia, that alienate surrounding nations such as Iran and Turkey, providing a pretext for a war of Islamic nations against his kingdom. In fact, the announcement of Mohammed bin Salman's Mukab project has already provoked the ire of many Muslims across social media platforms who clearly see the parallels to their sacred Kaaba in Mecca. As I mentioned in part 1 of this Flashpoint Geoprophecy report, the similarities between the biblical description of Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, and the Islamic Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, particularly in connection to its Vision 2030 plan, are astounding. There are many skeptics who question the economic and technological viability of recent Saudi development projects. Whether they come to fruition remains to be seen. But if these initiatives prove successful in coming years, the kingdom will solidify its growing position as an international religious center and as a global economic powerhouse, embodying the two key components which are depictive of the harlot city of Revelation.